What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Hey, man, on this episode, I want to talk about this Jasmine Crockett lady, bro. And I know a lot of black people be rooting for her, but why? Like, I don't understand it, bro. She don't have no facts. She's ignorant, and I don't understand. It's like black people, we just like this ghetto ratchetness style about us, and we done turned that into our culture, bro. Like, what happened to being classy, professional, and don't get me wrong, she ain't all the way off, but I'm gonna just go to the video, man, let y'all see what I'm talking about. The Epstein files, Trump signed for it or whatever, right? So she did this after she found out that Trump, you feel me, signed for.
It's pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
So she's saying these people took money from Jeffrey Epstein, right? Now you hear how she talking, right? Bold, typical black woman behavior. You see how she talking, right? Now watch this.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey.
Look, now, here go the accountability part. Here goes the accountability part. If you know you messed up, just say I messed up. But this is why I can't follow people who don't hold themselves accountable. Now watch this.
To a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC.
What
they did is they Googled. And
what other Jeffrey Epstein is we talking about? I can't believe she just said that. Listen to what she said.
Record on the people.
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled. And that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies.
You just told a lie. What do you mean? Hold on, cause I want y'all to hear this, bro. I want y'all to hear this. Now, she specifically said these people names, right? And then instead of holding herself, we finna break this down. We finna break it down, y'all. Class is in session. It's time for accountability. You feel me? We finna break this down.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin.
From somebody named Jeffrey Epstein.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor.
And we all know, so before we get to we all know when she said somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, we all know who she was talking about. So if you're going to play dumb right now, you can exit out the video. If you're going to play dumb right now. this the only Jeffrey Epstein we've been talking about. So now let's get to the accountability part.
Into a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC.
This is a example of being manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew who she was talking about. So now let's get.
So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now, have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not. So I will trust and take what he says, is that it wasn't that Jeffrey.
But you did. Dog could have lost his job or anything when you mention his name like that. Now you just saying, my bad. What happened to people just saying, my bad? My bad.
Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody. I literally
but
had
you did.
Maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, but people might say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
Registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not know. When you search FEC files, and that's what I had my team to do, I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the conviction.
Right, because you went up there talking with confidence.
Find that out, not from just doing a quick search on FEC. So, number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein, because I knew that we.
Y'all see what type of games they play? You see what type of games they be playing with their words? That's how y'all getting tricked and following people like this. Y'all getting tricked.
To really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're all talking about. You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees. But why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended up with some of his convictions and seemingly...
So she took the question, didn't answer it, said a bunch of words salad, put a bunch of words in the bucket. Because I know none of y'all got any of that she just said. And then she switched the conversation now and getting back on Trump.
He had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship, instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain, and she took the information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what are you talking about? Quick, I'm up next. And her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been in jail. And my deal is this. The Republicans are constantly texting with a 34-count convicted felon. So if it's okay for them to text him at any point in time, then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking about kicking someone off their committee. Were they sexting? Was it a matter of her being involved in the pedophilia? No, it was nothing like that. She was trying to understand. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein said, you know what? I have these pictures, these salacious pictures, because I know that the president got down and did these things. Do you think that it would be inappropriate for her to ask about those things if he said he had personal knowledge?
I think
it's
the
important.
context matters, but obviously it seemed like he was helping her. But I do want to ask you before you go tonight, because in your home state, we've talked about redistricting there.
Yeah.
The federal judge saying that they have to use that 2021 map yesterday. I mean, this is what truly launched a redistricting arms race in this nation.
This is the perfect example of talking to somebody who actually smart, educated, and do her homework versus a chick that just ghetto but went to school. She really don't have no knowledge, but she just talking out the side of her mouth because she know a bunch of big words. This is, you seeing it. Look how this reporter is talking and look how she talking.
I wonder, when you look at that ruling stands, do you think the blue states that have launched their own redistricting should stand down on it?
No, I don't. Because guess what? The president hasn't stood down, and the president started this. So if he wanted to start it and Democrats decide that they're going to finish it, then so be it. At the end of the day, number one, this is not a final ruling. We know that Texas has decided that they are going to appeal this up to the Supreme Court, Trump's Supreme Court, so it's not final. That's number one. Number two, we know that he now is applying pressure on Florida. We know that they were twisting the arms of those in Indiana to the extent that one of the Indiana Republicans ended up being doxxed here recently. We know that they took a seat away in Missouri. We know that they went to North Carolina after North Carolina, in my opinion, illegally took 3 seats last time. They took another seat out of North Carolina. We know that he tried to go to South Carolina. We know that as it relates right now, they're taking 1 or 2 seats out of Ohio. So no, I don't think that we should stop. I encourage Virginia to move forward. They have a mandate. We know that on November 4th,
look how she
they
talking.
Overwhelmingly decided the Democrats should run their legislature.
Dog, you go get lost in these words. Like, listen, like she thinks she sound educated, but she don't. Like, listen, dog.
We know that as it relates right now, they're taking 1 or 2 seats out of Ohio. So no, I don't think that we should stop. I encourage Virginia to move forward. They have a mandate. We know that on November 4th, they overwhelmingly decided the Democrats should run their legislature. And I encourage Maryland and anybody else that can get into the game to get into the game.
And we'll be ready to see if you get into the Senate game. You haven't decided, right?
I haven't decided.
Okay. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, thank you for your time tonight.
Absolutely.
Duh. Hey, y'all could be bamboozled if y'all want to. Y'all could be bamboozled if y'all want to, bro. Nah, she don't know what she talking about, bro. They just in the bashing Trump campaign. She got her grandma, somebody in her ear that's telling her this man is racist. He don't like black people. And she just trying to, I don't know, bro. I don't know why y'all follow her, man. I just don't. Like the channel, subscribe, tap in.